Hi, Jewish mom. So today is a very big day for me because all of my children, this is the first morning in 2 months that I had completely to myself with all of my children out of the house. Everyone is off in their own schools, gans, or my oldest daughter is in national service, as you know, and so it's a very, very exciting, I think, for all of us to be starting the new year. I want to just tell you about an interesting conversation that my older daughters and I were having yesterday at the Shabbat table. So yesterday I was sitting with my three oldest daughters, and my daughter Mayan, who just started ninth grade. They were kind of remembering kind of funny experiences from Gan, from like nursery school and kindergarten, and my daughter Mayan, she reminded me that when she was 3 years old, she was biting in Gan. And so in our house, in like the Weisberg home, for young children, like the biggest possible incentive that I have is ice cream. Like if you do something for a week, I will get you ice cream, okay? And usually that's how it is. You know, you don't make in your bed for a week, you get an ice cream. You wake up on time for a week, you get ice cream. You keep your room clean for a week, you get ice cream. That's usually my the way I do things when I'm trying to give an incentive to children. Like ice cream is the ultimate incentive. And Mayan reminded me that when she was 3 years old and attending Gan Na'ama, then I would give her an ice cream every single day, if on condition that she did not bite anybody. It's funny because I kind of remember this. Like my kids, many times, like they'll remember things, and I can't really remember. It's kind of, for me, it's kind of like I don't really remember a lot of the stuff that happened when my kids were small over the years. But this actually, I do remember. I remember that feeling of such desperation and thinking, oh my gosh, I have a 3-year-old who is biting and gone. You know, a 1-year-old, maybe you could say it's age appropriate, possibly a 2-year-old, but my 3-year-old is biting children and gone, and that feeling of desperation of like, okay, not only is okay, you don't have to do it for a whole week, just every day, every single day, you do not bite, I will give you ice cream. And I remember that feeling of like I have to give her this amazing incentive just to keep this girl from biting. Like that feeling of desperation ad kidei kach that I was giving her an entire ice cream every single day. Um, and I had forgotten that it's Mayan, but it's really funny now remembering that it was Mayan, because Mayan now is such a mature, lovely, intelligent young woman, very young woman. And now she's like going off to high school, and it's so funny to remember that was Mayan. That was Mayan, that she was the one who was that she was biting in Gan, and now she's Mayan. Okay? This grown up 14-year-old girl starting ninth grade. So I had a kind of similar experience, that I had one daughter, who was a challenging 5-year-old, and I remember that at the end of the year, the teacher, her Ganenet, gave me back all of the little morning notes that I brought. This is something that I don't know if they do this in the rest of the world. In Israel, it's very popular that then parents bring in notes to the Ganenet. It says things like today Yossi shared with his brother. Today Yossi finished all of his breakfast. Today Yossi helped Ima with something, or anything good that the child does, or on Shabbat, Yossi behaved nicely, whatever. So I remember with this specific daughter really struggling with certain things. I don't remember exactly, but I think it might have been, I'm trying to remember. I think what it was something along the lines of, this is the child who fought with her siblings. This is a child who had a hard time getting ready for gone quickly. It's a child who would deliberate for a long time about what to wear. And so basically I would write over and over and over the same note. I would write today so and so got dressed, quickly forgot. And then, like, when it would happen again, today so and so got dressed, quickly forgot. Today so and so got dressed, quickly forgot. Today, and whenever it happened, it wasn't every day, but whenever it happened, I would jump on and be like, "Wow, let's write a pet tag. That's amazing. Let's write a note. That's it." So today so and so did not fight with her siblings. Today so and so shared with her sibling. Today so and so shared with her sibling. Today so and so shared with her sibling. And the funny thing was, then the teacher at the end of the year gave me back the notes, and there were over 100 of them, I believe. And just reading, I read them. It was like I had written 50 times. Today so and so shared with her brother. Okay, another 50 times. Today so and so got dressed quickly for gone. Right, so we got to gone on time, and it's funny just reading it, because actually more recently I found we have those notes, and actually I found them again, and just reading them and then like comparing that with like the lovely older girl that this child has grown into, very responsible girl, and a very like lovely young girl, a lovely big girl, and it's just kind of hilarious remembering all those notes that I had to write. And this is a girl who leaves very, very early, who gets dressed, who wakes up at 6:30 and is out of the house by 7:15 to get to school, about half an hour more than she basically she could leave maybe even half an hour later than she does. But she and how she's changed. Like, I just thought it was so ironic, like to see those notes and be like, remember the struggles when she was little, and now how there's really there's no what do you call it? There's no trace left of that girl. Almost no trace left of that girl that I was writing all those notes, all those torturing, being tortured with all these things and working so hard to get her to change, right? There's no trace of it left. She's a big girl, big, responsible girl, right? I had a really nice experience last week. I took my daughter, Sophia, for her first day of first grade. And when I was, I feel very, actually my sixth child I'm taking to first grade, and it's like who I've had start first grade, my fifth daughter, and I feel so excited about it, and I feel exceptionally excited about it. I want to kind of explain to you why I feel exceptionally excited about it by way of a story. So when I was taking Sophia to her first day, I saw a very distinguished woman there, and I realized it's kind of a well-known rabbanit, she's also a professor, and she has a daughter who's a school principal. So I'm sorry, I hope I didn't lose you there. So the daughter of this distinguished rabbinate is the principal of the school. So of course she could not take. So this principal has a daughter starting first grade with my daughter. So she couldn't take her, of course, to the first day of school, because she has to be at her school for the first day of school. And I just saw this rabbinate, and she was beaming. She looked like the sun. It was wild just to see how overjoyed this woman was to be taking her granddaughter to first grade. And this is a woman who is Blan Haran, mother of 10 children, and many, many grandchildren, well over 50, let's say. And she has many, 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 many times taken girls and taken boys to first grade and gone through this whole process. And the funny thing was that I could really relate to that. I could relate to, I mean, on the one hand, like you look at her and you think, like, haven't you had enough already? Like you did this 10 times with your own kids, and now you've done it, had many, many children who've gone through first grade. Like, it's not so exciting. Like, you've done it many times. But just the excitement that which she was like, the excitement on her face, it was just so, I think out of all the mothers and all the people there, this grandmother who's been through this more times than any of us, looked like the most overjoyed. And I think what it is like she has seen kids grown up. Like, she has seen children who have, grown up into high schoolers, and then like they've gone into national service in the army, and then and then they get married. And I think most of her children are working in education, and said I think almost all of them, possibly all of them, are married and having children of their own. And she has just seen, like, what is the next step. She can see, okay, you're starting out first grade, and before you know it, you're going to be like growing into a bigger girl, and a bigger girl, and then a young woman, and then a woman, and then a wife, and a mother, Bezrat Hashem. And she just sees, like, this is happening. Like, this is leading to something great and wonderful. And I, in my own smaller way, I feel that now, like the special excitement that I feel with Sophia, it's partly because I see, like, now I have a daughter who's 18 years old, who's going into national service. I have like this lovely, lovely young woman who started out like that little girl in first grade, with the backpack, which is bigger than her. And now today sent her off again, with her big backpack, much, much bigger backpack, sending her off to national service. This lovely young woman who I just am so proud of her. And I think that it used to be that I would see, I'd see that first grader, and I would think, wow, like, this is great. Like, this year, she's going to get her first copy of the Chumash, and she's going to get her first Siddur, her first prayer book, and she's going to start reading this year, and this is so exciting. But I couldn't really see beyond the first grade. Now, like, I look at that little girl, and I just see, okay, this is going to be a girl who is going to grow up, and the wonders of seeing a child really growing up into a young adult, an adult. It's quite incredible. So I want to bless all of you. So all of us, all of you who are mothers of young children, I think it's very hard, when you're stuck in like the problems or the struggles that you're facing when that child is young. It's very hard to see beyond that. It's very hard to see like past this note for the get and this note for the get. Today Mayan did not bite. 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 It's hard to see beyond those struggles, beyond the day-to-day, like the ice cream to ice cream of the struggle of day by day. And I just want to like give you encouragement as someone who's seen a bit beyond that, like, things pass, things get easier, the kids grow up. So I want to bless all of you Jewish moms. You should have so much nachat from your children. All of your children this year should thrive emotionally, spiritually, physically, in every way. And you should continue in the years to come, that all the little problems of now, that they'll just fade into the past. You'll be surprised just how completely, Bezrat Hashem, they will fade. And you'll have just growing up, your children will go up into lovely, lovely grown-up children, and then eventually grown-up, wonderful adults. Kol Tov.